Bang, 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 bang. What up? Peace to you, family. Peace to the triple G's. You already know it's time to go live. In 2025, what do? We live live. We live, laugh, love, but we also go live. What up? Thank you for clicking on this video. You could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to click on this video and be here with me and rock out for however long you choose. Shout out to if you're watching this on a rewatch. Shout out to you if you're just jumping in. Oh, I got my first visitor. Peace to you, family. I go by No Snero, aka NOS, aka Noise Over Silence, No One's Son, No Ordinary Stranger, North or South, many others. Matt or Matthew. I'll respond positively to any of those things. Juju was good. Shout out to you for jumping in. Being one of the first ones. I love the 9909 on here. The triple nines. Huh? What you know about them? The numeric system. The magic of numbers. And I say that knowing that you know. I say that knowing that you know well the magic of numbers. So it's no coincidence that you throw the nines in there. Shout out to everybody who's born in September. Shout out to everybody who's born on the 9th day of a month. Shout out to all of us for being born most likely in the 9th month of our, what's it called? Our utero. So tonight, I'm not going to hold everybody for too long. I just got home from work, kind of tired. But I could yap. I could definitely yap. But I want to do this, get in and out, try to get some type of a workout in, then take a shower, then relax, then go to fuck to bed so I can get up early tomorrow and do it all over again. Also, I want to work out before I go to work because working out when you're full, I just ate dinner. It's not really the wave. You always want to work out, ideally on an empty stomach. So there's that. That means I got to get up super early tomorrow. Smart Savvy was good. Baby girl. Yeah, your mom and I share birthdays, which is the illest thing in the world. So somebody told me that September 9th is one of the most common birth dates in the world. I was like, whatever. You just trying to act like you just mad because I'm special. But it kind of makes sense though, because if you're born September 9th, that means your parents were getting busy around the Christmas holiday. I think everybody's trying to get busy around Christmas. You know what I mean? I know, because the Christmas time is right now. Shit, niggas is feeding. Baby, I'm feeding. All right, epidemic sound. Speaking of that, let's get the music going, shall we? Smart Savvy, thank you for that 100. Appreciate it. Thank you, love. Shit, it goes a long way, as you already know. It brings every gift. Oh, I got another one. Thanks, Ran Fan Abel, for the second 100 of the day. Appreciate it. Every donation, every consideration shown brings me that much closer to moving within a ideal proximity to my daughters who live about 300 miles away right now. So it goes a long way. I can't explain to you how much it means. There's no words that describe. No words I could describe. So let's hopefully continue that while I get some music going. Huh? I feel like I have to learn this website over every time I come. Like it just doesn't make sense every time. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Oh, I got a bunch of hundreds. Okay, Rand fan. Thank you for that, bro. thank you. I mean, sorry to assume your gender, but ma'am, fam, homie, appreciate you. You don't know. Somebody said I resemble Sean Paul. Sean Paul, just give me the lie. I'll give you my best Sean Paul. I used to know mad Sean Paul songs, verbatim. That's how I practice on my patois. But yeah, Sean Paul is a legend. Thank you for the beautiful compliment. Give, live, love. Don't you have a birthday coming up? Give, live, love. I've been waiting for you to pop up because I know I wrote your birthday on my calendar and I saw it and I was like, yo, I gotta make sure I don't forget. So happy early birthday to you, Give, live, love. This song is called Smart. I said Smart Savvy. I'm reading your handle. This song is called This Makes Everything Better by Sarah the Instrumentalist, who's quite popular, I must say. I use a lot of her music on my vlogs. She's one of the best people on this platform. This platform where I get my royalty-free music from is called Epidemic Sound. If you go into any of my previous videos, the link is in there. So consider that. Also, yeah is coming up. I already know. Ran fan, thank you, family. Yes, spam it, bang, bang, bang. Let's get it. What I was gonna say was, oh yeah, since we're speaking of consideration, please consider subscribing to the channel if you're into critical thinking, free thought, if you're into freedom, if you're into talking about oligarchy, if you're into talking about authoritarianism, if you're into talking about I already said oligarchs. If you're into talking about sovereignty, if you're into talking about debt being the obligation of the United States of America to fulfill, we could talk about that all day long. What else? If you into seeing I'm a normal person. If you're into seeing normal people, I kind of use that word normal loosely because I feel like I am a little crazy sometimes. But if you're into seeing somebody who's basically getting it out the mud, consider subscribing. If you're into hip hop, if you're into Japanese culture, if you're into anime, if you're into deep conversations, uncomfortable conversations, consider subscribing. I do these lives every even day around 6:30, 7 o'clock p.m. And yeah. If you hear anything that resonates with you, if you read anything that resonates with you, please hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That definitely helps the video, the channel rise up in the YouTuberverse. I sent 6 gifts of 100. Thank you, Rand Fan Abel. You're the realest one, bro. I'm pretty sure this is your first time in the chat and you just spammed 100, so I mean, I can't thank you enough for that. Audie, what's good? Autumn, what's good, love? Good to see you. Good to have you. Your presence is felt. So, the theme of tonight's video is going to be Would You Rather. You ever played that game? I think most people call it Have You Ever. That's another way to play pretty much the same game. So, we're going to start it off with question for the chat. And I think I can put this in here. No, put it here. Come back. All messages. And then I do this here. I start a Q&A. This is the first time I'm ever doing this, so bear with me. Would you rather lead or support? That's the first prompt of the night. And I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna open that up to y'all. Answers will appear as chat messages. Yeah, bang, bang. I'm gonna leave that right there. Would you rather lead or support? Let's talk about it. Oh, they talking about something went wrong. Please try again. So I don't know what happened with the Q&A thing on there, but The question for the chat, for the fam, is would you rather lead or support, and why? I'll start. I feel like ideally I rather lead because I like taking that responsibility. I like to lead by example. I like to be the one that, pretty much everything rides on, like the responsibility of it all, of leading, it rides on me. So if it succeeds, you could point to him like that's the guy. And if it fails, you could be like, that's the bad guy. Like I'm fully capable of shouldering responsibility. However, I feel like most of the time, like what my character exhibits more often than not is I fall into a support role. And the reason being is for that is because I don't care so much that I will get upset if someone else wants to lead that bad. If someone else wants to lead that bad and they can't possibly play the support role, I can show you how good I can lead in a support role. I will be the leader of all supporters. That's me. What about you? Lead or support? Would you call yourself a leader or a supporter naturally? And why? Smart savvy. Of course, you're going to play both sides, but you got to pick one smart savvy. You got to pick one. That's the whole point of the game is you got to pick one. Like, just which one? Me and my daughter Aura always play this game, but we say, would you rather? Like I ask her, would you rather be an alligator or a turtle? And she'll give me like her answer, and I'll be like, well, why? And she'll always ask me something crazy like, would you like poop on your head, or would you like to get eaten by a shark? And I'm like, come on, let's play this game for real. But that's the first one. I'm not seeing many comments come in, even though there's 11 people watching. Oh, watching asses. Participate, watchers. Hit the thumbs up. Don't just be observational. What name starts with an O? I want to say Olivia, but that's my niece's name, so I'm not going to use it. Don't be an observational owl. There we go. I think I picked the shark. I often pick the shark too. So Zepper, the question that I just, for an example, threw out there was, my daughter asked me one time if I would rather to have poop on my head or be eaten by a shark. So you're saying you would rather be eaten by a shark or bitten by a shark, I guess? Glow with Grace, what's up? Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's been a minute since I've seen you. You guys! Vibrant Liz, what up? Thank you for joining us. You gotta pick one, Autumn. But all right, I'll just take your first answer as the one that you picked. So you like to support, and I know you can also lead. But why would you first pick support as opposed to lead? Of course, I remember you, Glow with Grace. I remember everybody who pops up more than like 2 or 3 times, for the most part. I try to. Don't get upset with me if I forget. But I won't forget. I won't forget you, Grace. All right, maybe this one's too hard. Or maybe just people are taking their time on thinking about what they would do, would they rather lead or support. While you guys get together your answers, I'm going to try to hit this. There's an effects picker? That's new. What's that about? Oh. Wow, they're trying to get this like... Wow. All right, we're not going to do that. Bye-bye. But that's cool. I'm not into all that stuff like that. I won't even hit the retouch. This is what I look on retouch. Look at that. That quick. Blemish is gone. That touch, blemish is gone. But blemishes are authentic, so let's keep it going with the authenticity. You know what I mean? hit this. All right, let's start a new Q&A. Instead of leader support, let me give you guys something more risque. Let's dive deep. Let's dive deep. How about that one? Sex is the biggest fucking conversational starter in the world. There it is. There it is. If you could only have one or the other, you can't have both. And I know some people are gonna say love is a prerequisite for sex. You can't have sex with somebody unless you love them, which we all know isn't really 100% true, not for everybody. And then on the other hand, you have people say that you can't really love someone. No, pause. You can love like your mom or your dad or your cat or your dog or your children or your cousins. So sex is not a prerequisite for love. But for this, just the sake of this momentary conversation, if you could only have one for the rest of your life, would it be sex or would it be love? And I don't want people to think that, oh, if I pick sex because that's what I want to pick, does that mean that I'm never gonna have sex with people who love me? Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, you could get love if you choose sex, but the love would come after the sex. So sex is always the first initial interaction or event. Yeah. So event wise, sex would be the first event or love would be the first event. I should have known you guys are gonna go for love. That was too easy. You wanna? I wanna feel like I can trust whoever I'm letting lead. That's a fact. Yeah, That's my thing too. Is like, I rather lead because I feel like I'm a trustworthy person, and I don't often extend trust to anybody else. Like you have to do a lot. You have to be around for a while before you get trust from me. Autumn said we could please ourselves for real. I hear you. I hear you. It ain't the same, no. It ain't the same. Just to be a contrarian, I'm gonna go with sex. Just to be a contrarian. Cause I could make arguments for either one of those things. Um Hold on, somebody's knocking on my door. I'm not gonna leave y'all with this Christmas music though. Hold on. All right, this one's called Green Cascade. Listen to this song by Joby. I will go answer my door. Think of your answers. What up? Huh? Oh, I ain't even. It smells good though. Yeah, I know. Ah! Hit my knee! Alright. Alright, boom. Okay. So everybody's saying love. I knew y'all was gonna go for the love. Nobody wants to sound crazy and be like, nah, I need the sex. Leave the love at the door. But so let me try to be the contrarian and try to, cause like I said, I could come up with a reason of why I would prefer sex over love. Not to say this is my objective answer. This is just me showing you what it's like to think constructively, to think critically. Because in order to really say that you would go for love over sex, You got to have a reason for that. And I know it's real easy to think of the reasons. It's hard to think of the reasons why you would just go for sex. So maybe I would say I would choose sex over love because as long as it's protected, as long as it's, of course, consented to, um, it would leave you with less heartbreak than love, huh? Huh? Come on, fuck with me now. Fuck with me. Am I right or am I wrong? Because when you love someone, you run the risk of losing said love. And we all know, I mean, not all of us, but if you have loved and you've lost love, if you've had your heart broken, you know how much that sucks. Now, if you're just having sex without love, your heart remains intact. And there's always more sex to have. Sometimes when you lose love, you feel like I'm never going to do it again. Like I'm never going to open myself up in such a way. But I don't think anybody has ever had sex and then, you know, the sex is over. Do they ever, like, maybe, let's just say for the sake of conversation, that it wasn't the best sex. You don't say, "Oh, I'm never gonna have sex again." You like, "Yo, I need it again, but I need it to be better." I guess you can say the same thing for love, but love is love, right? That's what they say. Like, there's no Timu version of love. Love is love. There's no cheap version of love. You know what I mean? What you think? That's my argument, at least. Okay, Juju, what'd you say? What'd you say, Juju? Hold up, where you at? Sandcraft was good. I ain't seen you in a minute, girl. All right, I scrolled all the way back. Here we go. You are loved, Grace. I want to remind you of that. We can please ourselves. I got that one. Give live love. Okay, give love is on the 6-7. She on the fence, but give live love. I need you to pick one. Pick one. Pick one just for the sake of conversation. Even if, because you see how everybody's saying love. You don't have to answer sex, but if you were to answer sex, what would be the reason? Because my reason is love can lead to heartbreak. So sex almost always feels good. Yeah. Unless you mess with somebody who you start to interact the synergistic energy exchange, and then in like the midst of it, you like, nah, this ain't it. So sex could be bad in that way. But that's almost superficial compared to the way love turns to the ugly side. You know what I mean? That's my argument for sex over love anyway. Sex is without love is just lust. Yeah, I think I agree with that. FamTX says, if passion fades but love grows, which one truly defines connection? If passion fades but love grows, love don't always have to grow though, does it? Love can definitely come to an abrupt end on your ass. Trust me, I know. I got an eye booger. Y'all have me out having this eye booger and y'all ain't say nothing. Wow, y'all foul. All right, Juju said, I don't say love. I mentioned my reason. But what is the reason, Juju? I ain't see it. See, and Glow with Grace is filling the point. Love is patient, kind, long suffering. I feel like this is a movie quote. Long suffering does not keep record of wrong. I like that. I like that. Love is confused with infatuation and limerence. Okay, somebody broke out the SAT dictionary on us. Let's go. Go, go. What's that handle you got? Go, go, Gad Ghost? Oh, like Go Go Gadget, but instead of Go Go Gadget, is Go Go Gad Ghost. I like that. I like that. I like that. They tried to hide your comment, Autumn. Okay. Once you come, you can feel empty. Lust is dangerous. Damn, that's deep. I can't say that I've ever felt empty after an orgasm. I felt like I would not orgasm if I wasn't even there. You know what I mean? Like if to allow myself to have that release, ah, it's if it doesn't really. Oh, I just remember one time back way back in the day, my homie went to Stony Brook, and he kind of like threw this girl on me, and she was anyway. I did not love Shorty. I had known Shorty for like an hour or two, so but we got it on the popping, and the orgasm was had. But I didn't feel empty though. I felt like it was a great experience, like to just meet somebody that quick and go that far with them. I felt like I was living the college life, even though I wasn't enrolled myself. But I hear you. I hear you. I could see why someone would think that or feel that. I've never been loved properly. I do the loving and breaking of hearts. Grace, Grace, we gotta change that. We gotta change that. Grace, what is the proper way of being loved? Can you break that down for us real quick? Give Live Love says, when I became a widow at 30, I started dating. I was not dating for love. I was looking for that itch to be scratched. I know exactly what you mean, Give Live Love. Cause that itch, I feel like that itch is just as potent as like a hard drug, you know what I mean? And I've been thinking this to myself, especially like the last month or so. Like biologically, you need it. That's what my brain has been telling me. Both of my brains have been telling me like, yo, you need it. Like I'm going to put you in physical pain if you don't. Oh, okay, let me see where she wrote. For the I missed it. Oh, you said it too many pitches. All right, I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna catch up with you. Without love can feel hollow over time because physical connection doesn't replace emotional depth. Okay, FamTX, I see that. I see that. Now my counter follow-up question to that statement is physical connection can, what's the word I'm looking for? Dissipate. There we go. That's the word. Dissipate. Physical connection can dissipate over time without love being present. However, that begs the question that for physical connection to continue, love has to be present. And I don't think that's the case. And I say that because of my own experience where I've dealt with significant others who I purposefully told myself I wasn't going to offer the brand of love that I that I call my love, because my love is unconditional. Like once I hit you with the stamp, I love you, that love's never going nowhere. Like you have to become a super duper criminal. Like when I say super duper criminal, like I mean you have to do something nefarious, like way out of character for me to be like, oh no, I don't love you anymore. This isn't that, I don't know what I was thinking, but I shouldn't have loved you. Like you have to do something terrible for me to do that. And when I say terrible, I mean terrible. So that's my follow up to the physical connection dissipating over time without like emotional depth. Some people are just really cool to hang out with. Like they make you laugh. You know what I mean? They always have some good stories. They help you have an uplifted mood. But that doesn't mean that you're emotionally, like, have a deep emotional connection with them. That's what I think, at least. Oh, okay. Here, Juju, I found your comment. They tried to hide it. It said, I said it for the rest of my life, though. I would pick sex because we get old at some point and the dynamic changes. Because we get old at some point and the dynamic changes. But I feel like if you get old at some point and the dynamic changes, wouldn't you prefer love over sex? Because I don't know, I'm not old, thank God, yet. I mean, I always joke around like I'm old, but I feel like when people get old, the sex kind of, it ain't there. It's not existent anymore. Your blood ain't running like it used to. You ain't flexible like you used to. Granted, one of my goals in life is to live to 200, as you already know. I plan to stay flexible. I plan to like increase my physical being, the prowess of my physical being over time. Like I want to be in the best shape of my life in the next few months. So I'm not saying that old people have to necessarily decline in physical activity, but man, I'm sure you're gonna explain to me further in the comments. C should be a unison of body and soul. Anything less is debasing. I hear you. Everybody has a strong. That's why I knew sex and love was gonna be a good one because people have strong opinions on it. Exactly what Vibrant Liz said. You gotta be true to yourself, and if that's what you need, that's what you need. You know, I think every man that you probably came across give live love at that in that phase of your life appreciated that because I said it in one of my last lives, and I kind of agree with it in a way. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be the next one after we do with sex or love. Sex is still gonna remain a prominent part in the next one, but it's money or sex. I feel like men are constantly trying to solicit sex from women, and women, not all, because I know y'all about to hit me with the hook once I say it, but like maybe I'm comfortable with saying a majority of women, and y'all can feel free to disagree if y'all want. A majority of women are soliciting money from men via sex, or dare I say, in these modern times, like they try to get as much money as they can without it, kind of dangling the sex as a carrot to to what's the word, siphon, you know colonize the man's bank account. But I digress. Sex is an energy exchange. Love is still there even if the sex isn't. I love that. You right, Autumn. Facts. Avoiding love to protect your heart also means avoiding the very thing that makes life meaningful. Fam TX, you are very deep, and I'm right there with you. Like I'm not disagreeing with nothing you saying, but I gotta entertain the contrary to that. That's my whole purpose of this conversation, is like not only like helping us explore these ideas in our minds, but also helping me explore the idea in my mind. And if I'm gonna do that successfully, I'm gonna say that it serves to put up a boundary, dare I say, is like it serves to hold your love so sacred that you don't freely give it out, or you don't even necessarily provide. Nah, pause. I was gonna say you don't show the side of yourself that allows people to love you because you have like this wall up. um I don't know if I'm capable of doing that, but I've met many of people who I feel like they have a wall up, so they don't necessarily pull that love out of other people because they don't want to give it out themselves. Like sometimes people are so hurt and traumatized by their experience in life that they don't want nothing to do with love. Like everything has to be superficial. Their whole life revolves around money, celebrity gossip, TV, fashion, fucking luxury cars, material shit. Like love is not the place they're gonna go, because that realm of love that they might have experienced in their upbringing hurt them to the point where they like, nah, I'm not even. If I do say anything or act out love, it's like quasi love. You know what I mean? Like it's not the real shit. They're just doing it because that's the buzzword that everybody wants to see in the world, to see in a relationship. Mrs. Clayton, what's good, family? Welcome to the chat. Good to see you. Thank you for diving deep with us again. Shout out to you and the whole family. Love song Desmond and all of that. I say love because I believe in energy exchange, and you don't always know what you're getting with sex. Do you not really always? I mean, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Why? You don't always know what you're getting with sex, of course. But I feel like like the bandwidth of what you're getting with sex. Like arousal. You're getting arousal. You're getting physical contact. You're getting the most intimate version of someone that they could possibly show you. Like if someone takes all their clothes off for you, you are witnessing them in their most rawest form. Love, on the other hand, can be witnessed with somebody with a big black puffer jacket on. You know what I mean? They could have the Pooh Shiesty mask on, and you could witness them do a loving act, and then in turn love them for the love that they showed. Or you can know of who they are without ever seeing their naked body and be like, I love this person because I feel like I know who they are. Juju, I think I did see your comment. Lust is just low-key selfish, Autumn. Okay. Okay. But okay, let's dive deep with that. With being selfish, is being selfish such a bad thing? Because in one of my favorite books of all time, it's a 3-part book. I'm gonna plug this book in every live. Conversations with God. God says in these 3 books that being selfish is the highest form of love that one can possibly exhibit. Is being selfish, being self-centered. God says that betraying yourself is the highest act of betrayal. The highest act of self-harm is self-betrayal. So one should be selfish, but I digress. Sex without love might protect you from heartbreak, but it also protects you from intimacy, trust, and deeper happiness. All right, fam, TX. Stop taking my bars. You taking my bars. Cause Jesus loves you. What up? Hello, my name is Zach. What's up? Good to have you here. Heartbreak is a consequence of love. That is a fact. That's what I was saying. Limerence isn't talked about enough. Yes, I've maybe heard the word, if I'm even pronouncing it right. I've only seen the word limerence like 3 times in my 40-year life. So definitely we need to talk about that some more. Setting the standard with yourself because love because otherwise, I don't know. I was capable of loving at that time. I had attraction to people, but no one I was willing to love. What about now, Give Live Love? Where you at now? Give us the update. Don't leave us on a cliffhanger like that. There is value in semen retention. Don't be deceived. Yeah, I never said that there wasn't value in semen retention. I will definitely, I'll fuck with that. Montauk Chia all day. I read that book like 2-3 times. Men are wired to be to populate the planet, so I don't expect it to be the same. Oh, Autumn, there you go. I love that about you. Autumn. You fucking, you know that biologically, men and women are wired different. So what's possible for men, not to say that it is impossible for women, but it's less likely. You know what I mean? And I think you hit the nail on the head with that comment. One day I got a girl to get out of her relationship to smash and left her after. Unknown. Wow. That's what they call that, dirty macking. But it's not. I guess it's dirty macking on you because you kind of probably persuaded her to leave her relationship, whatever, and she probably thought that. Who knows what she thought, but both of y'all share responsibility. And if I dare say, she probably shared more responsibility for that than you did because she's the one who left her relationship. Lemon, what's good? I can't wait for you to find your soulmate as well. We're gonna pray for that tonight. Ain't no sex in the afterlife. Love transcends all. Come on now. Go to ghosts. Go to ghosts. We can't consider the afterlife. I mean, you can consider the afterlife while you living, but I think it's a disservice. The purpose of life is to live, not to be worried about what happens after we die. Love with sex is riskier, but it's also richer because, oh yeah, that's a fact. Because vulnerability is the price of real connection. I love that. Okay, TX fam, what's up? What's up? You already know the world doesn't fulfill you. Only Jesus gives you real joy. I love to pray for you. Thank you for the prayers. Panster. I don't even know how to pronounce your handle. And the love will grow and be there. Right. That's those are for very few of us chose sex. Most of us chose love, obviously. I think it was a conversational starter to get people charged up and typing, but it was too easy. Autumn says money. All right, let me go here. Because of this thinking, men want sex but nothing else. We gotta dive deep on that. We gotta dive deep. We gotta dive deep. All my exes were broke. I was the breadwinner. Young and me made interesting choices. Wow, Vibrant. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for sharing that with us. I'm trying to think of if I have anything to say about that. What I do want to say about that is I've heard it in this circle of joking many times that broke guys have the best love making skills, if you know what I mean. And when I say love, I'm just gonna say broke guys can fuck better than guys with money. I've heard that in a lot of jokes. I can't say that I know either or. An elder once told me the sex ain't for sale, but it ain't free either. Facts. One of my good friends, Goldilocks from Yonkers, she always used to say, "Never fuck for free unless you're doing it for practice." And I was like, I don't know why that sounds so deep to me, but I'm gonna give you credit for like being one of the deepest things I've heard. Nikki Nudes, what's good? I ain't seen you in a minute. I was like, yo, did Nikki leave? Like, did she exit the chat left? Because I haven't seen you in so long. But thank you for joining us. What's the name of these books again? Conversations with God, An Uncommon Dialogue by Neil Donald Walsh. If love risks heartbreak but brings meaning, and sex avoids pain but stays shallow, which one is worth more in the end? That's a very subjective thing. It's up to the person who's experiencing it, of course. At least that's my idea. Loving yourself and being selfish is definitely most important. I agree. Vibrant Liz, I'm over any man lusting over me. I take love anyway. It's the worst feeling when a man love bombs or pretends to care, but only for lust. Okay, Liz, that just sparked a thought in my head. Let's talk about it. Okay, let me just get my words together. Let's say you find yourself in a relationship with a dude, or if you're a dude in the comments and you're listening to this, just assume the opposite, or whatever your preference is. Let's just say you're party A in a relationship with party B, right? And you find yourself really feeling party B, and like things are moving swimmingly. You haven't had sex yet, but then one day the thing happens, the sex happens, and it ain't up to your standard. What then do you do, fam? What then? Okay, because this is an obvious turn of the conversation. I don't know why I ain't see this before. I feel like I gotta switch the song for this. I gotta switch the music for this. Hold on. What's next? It can't. It can't. It can't. Okay, maybe this one. Maybe this one. All right. So let's say you love somebody, but the sex is. Let's take it all the way. Let's move the threshold all the way over here to the left. The sex was terrible, but before you had sex with said person, you loved them. What then? What then, ladies? This is something I've always wanted to know. My condolences, give, live, love. And you said your first husband. I'm gonna just keep reading. I'm now happily married. Oh, okay. I had to read the next sentence. You answered my question. He was a perfect man and my 9-year-old daughter. That's what's up. Shout out to y'all, give love. I feel like that slipped my mind that you was married for a second time. I kind of do remember you mentioning your first husband passing away. I do remember that part. Oh, fam TX, you mad deep, fam. You like a poet in the chat right now. Fam TX, I'm gonna show it. I don't know why they held that back, but it says maybe broke guys give better sex because they can't afford to be lazy. Passion is their real currency. I can't even. I can't find no lies in that, fam. Oh, okay. I go live on a busy time for you. Well, I'm grateful that you joined us tonight, and everything was in divine alignment. All right, boom. So I'm gonna let the ladies or whoever's interested, um, tell us more about what happens if you find yourself in love with someone, but the sex is almost terrible. What then? Does the love grow? Does the love die? Does the love stagnate? What say you, ladies? What say you? Or gentlemen? Anybody. Give us the answers. Let me give you my answer. If I find that I love someone and the sex is terrible, for me, the answer is I might give them a second chance. Maybe maybe the first time, the nerves, maybe it was just an off day for them. They were tired and, it just happened the way it happened. So I'll give them a second chance. And hopefully there's some improvement the second time. And if there's some improvement, then there might be a third time. And so on and so forth. Up until the time, and I'm a very good communicator as well. I feel like, so, if I feel like my sexual desires are not being met, then I'll be free and happy to talk about it. I feel like that is love right there. But let's say the second time is just as bad as the first time, if not worse. Then I feel like maybe we're not meant to be in that way, in that type of a connection. Maybe our love should be platonic, a friendship. That's my answer. FamTX says, love can survive bad sex if both partners are committed to improving it, but if one refuses to grow, the relationship risks resentment. Sex without love feels empty. I hear you. Sometimes people be willing to grow, like they're willing to talk about it. They're willing to say that they're going to try to do better. But, I don't know. I've never really experienced that. Where I was willing to go again. Like, usually I could kind of tell if the sex is gonna be bad. You know what I mean? Like, if the breath is bad, then most likely the sex is gonna be bad because she's not taking care of herself. You know what I mean? But I think that's another discrepancy between men and women as well. Like it's hard for a woman to not be good. Like all she has to do is really, I don't know. This is YouTube. I feel like this is this conversation is for like OnlyFans or something. Um, but yeah. AG asks if I'm a top or bottom. I don't think that's a heterosexual thing. And I also don't have a preference. Like I love both of them. You know, I prefer both of them. Like I need to have both of them in every session. You know what I mean? I don't want to go one session where I'm just on the bottom the whole time, or one session where I'm on the top the whole time. I would never do that. For me, part of the dope shit about synergistic energy exchange is switching positions. Like that's one of the best things about it. The switch the positions, like hit it for that way, hit it for that way. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe this conversation is getting a little. I'm starting to blush now over here. Sherlin, what's good? Hello, welcome to the chat. Give Live Love says I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm gonna tell you, then walk you through it. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Then walk you through it. You will be amazed at what a little whisper in the ear will do. You ain't gotta tell me twice. I already know. That's one of my, my things. Like the whisper in the ear. Any type of like really close affection. But the whispering, yeah, the whisper in the ear is OD. I feel like women don't kiss ears enough. I've never had a woman like really kiss my ear, but the couple of times that I did, like that shit drove me crazy. I was like, wow, she really did that. Yo. Yo, thank you for subbing, fam text. Yeah, that's what we do here. We dive in, yo. I'm not scared of no type of conversation. I in fact enjoy it. I invite the conversations that make us feel like, you know, like this not might be a proper venue for this, but it is. It always is. Shout out to the Sagittarius in here. If the sex is bad and you want to leave them, you didn't love them to begin with. I don't know, loyalty. I don't know. I want to, let me show that comment if it's not being shown. But I feel like I want to agree with you, but that's not been my experience. But I could definitely agree with you. Like I would say the same thing. If somebody told me that they love me and then the coitus event happened and for whatever reason I felt like I didn't do my best and then the coitus never happens again and then that person like falls off the planet, leaving me only to think that it was the energy exchange that did that, I would definitely tell myself, oh, they didn't love me. You know what I mean? Like they were lying when they said they loved me. But I also will say that if the sex ain't proper or like it ain't what you want, but you do love somebody, you don't necessarily have to have sex with somebody. If you really love them, you would tell them like, yo, we just don't, we're not each other's people in that. Like I feel like when you make love or have sex with people, it's not necessarily like it doesn't mean like if the sex is bad, it doesn't mean like that they're less of a person at all. I just think some people do better with some people as opposed to not being good with other people. You know what I mean? It's better with some as opposed to others. Like it could be an energy thing. It could be like a size thing sometimes. Like sometimes the sizes just ain't preferred. That's my idea at least. Only Sagittarius is in here. I'm sure he asking if you're gay. Oh, no, I don't even take it like that. I hope not. I mean, if they did, then that's what it is. But you don't need to be gay to be a top or a bottom. I don't think. I don't know. I wouldn't know because I'm not. Loyalty says, honestly speaking, though, I feel like when you fall in love with someone, like really fall in love with them intuitively, you can feel what the sex is gonna be like because the chemistry and energy. I've been there. I can agree with that sentiment as well, and I can't say that I've necessarily ever been disappointed. Like me feeling like intuitively, I know what this is gonna be. I know it's gonna be great, and it always is. But again, I feel like that might be because I'm a guy. Like I've never, I don't know. Like I don't. Maybe I don't have enough like female. Uh, I do have a lot of female sisters, but I've never had this conversation with them to know if women would go that far with somebody they didn't really like intuitively know or want to have that way. Like women don't just take one for the team, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's more of a guy thing. Like guys will be like, yo, you gotta take one for the team, blah blah blah, because if you don't do that, then we can't do us. So every now and then there's a guy who has to like take one for the team. Like I said, I think that's just a guy thing. But I hear you, loyalty. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for the engagement. Vibrant List says, I think people need to be real with intentions, wants, or desires. Always. Authenticity is always paramount in any relationship, even if it's not a passionate one that might lead to sex. Like even if it's a business relationship, please be authentic with your dealings in commerce with people. It's the toilet asks, "What's my favorite Bible verse?" Whatever verse it is that Jesus says. Um, but he says something like, basically, "I can do all these things, and so can you." Like, and I think it's a Matthew verse also was where they're saying like, "You're God," you know. I forget, because I don't read the Bible like that. I just know loosely what it says in certain places. And it's when Jesus is saying that we can all do everything that he did. And it's like, are ye not God or something like that? Those are my two anyway. That's what I got for you. It's all about technique and effort. How someone shows care, creativity, and attentiveness often matters more than size. Yeah, you know, I, I don't. Yeah, I guess I can say that because there was one partner that I had back in the day, and she wasn't like very curvy, but Shorty know what she was doing. So I agree. Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes with the morning. Oh, is that a Bible verse? Is that a Bible verse, Liz? That's what's up. I like that one too. All right, can I even switch this Q&A thing? I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't even switch the Q&A, which I didn't know. Oh wait, maybe if I can. Yeah, here we go. Boop. Now I could do it again. All right, let's do it. Oh, it says start a poll. No, give me the Q&A again. Whack. All right, so let's do another Q&A. Oh, here it is. Try it. Um, what's the next one? Sex or money? And I feel like I already know the answer to this one. That's why I'm gonna go first. What's up, brother? Are you Muslim? I am not. But I appreciate Islam. I appreciate the Quran. I appreciate Muhammad and his teachings. I appreciate Noble Drew Ali, who I believe started off in Islam and went on to develop the Five Percenters. I appreciate the I said the the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I feel like he has taught me many of things, even though I kind of feel like he could be a hypocrite sometimes, but that's my answer to your question. You don't appreciate the Quran? It's the toilet? Oh, okay. Allah is a king deceiver, it says. They promote lying. Huh. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. But we could deep dive on that too. Like it's crazy to go from sex to religion, but we could do that. Before I get sidetracked in that, I just want to point out the new question is sex or money. Would you rather have sex or money? And you have to pick one. You can't have both. My answer is damn, that is hard. Because I first was gonna say money, like duh. That's what I was gonna say. And then I was gonna say the reason why is because you can buy sex with money, but then that kind of defeats the object of the game. You have to have one. You can't have both. So if you could have one for the rest of your life, which one would you have? And money definitely goes a long way, but to go without sex for the rest of my life, I think I'm gonna go with sex, just on that. Oh, why'd you delete your messages, little toilet? Real Robocat says, "I be rubbing my shit to get some money for real, for real." I love that answer. Thank you for that. Yeah, so not to deviate from, I did want to talk about what you were saying, little toilet. I don't want you to feel like I was dismissing the things that you were saying, but I was basically going to say the same exact thing that Give Live Love said. Was some say that the Bible is fiction as well. Um, the Bible itself has many contradictions. The Bible itself is not like a perfect book. Like there's a lot going on with the Bible and Christianity, to say the least. And so yeah, I just feel like it's kind of weird to point at the Quran like the Quran is like a book full of lies when the Bible is also, there are many lies being told in the Bible. Autumn says, I would rather have eternal life and peace over all of it. Autumn, it's an A or B multiple choice. But I love your answer though. I will take that. I will take that. I also would much rather have eternal life and peace over all of that. There's nothing better there's nothing better than having a peaceful life and a life that lasts longer than this corporal life that we experience. So, very good answer. But girl, keep it on the money. Is it on the money? Is it on the sex? You can't have both. You can only pick one. Which one and why? Yeah, maybe the next one we should do religion or no religion. I'm not religious, but respect the choice for anyone to believe what they want to. Exactly, Liz. I am the same way. I want everybody to. I encourage people to not only be religious, but nah, I take that back. Delete, 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 delete. Don't be religious. Find your own faith. There you go. I will substitute the word faith for religion any day. Because religion is like to realign yourself. And when you realign to religion, you have to, from the way that we're taught at least, they're always man-made constructs and not realign. Instead of realign yourself with your own spirit, with your own heart, with your own mind, you, when people hear religion, they think Christianity, Islam, uh Jewish. I don't like the term Jewish because it's got the ish in it. Like, how could you be Jewish? You're either a Jew or not. But the preeminent word for Jewish is Judaism, right? Yeah. So Islam, Christianity, Judaism. The what religion is the people who worship Buddha? I don't even know. It's not coming to my mind right now, at least. But if your savior is the Buddha, what is your religion? Wow, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, I encourage everybody to develop their own religion. That's what I've done for myself, and I'm a fervent, I'm an evangelical member of my own church, which exists in my heart. Wow, there was a message held for review and didn't even get like, let's see what it says. Oh, it's not even gonna show me. If I have stable friends and home, I'm good. No sex. Wow, you guys are brave. No sex. Yee. uh, Give Live Love says I'm choosing money. Autumn says I'm choosing money. Fun fact, I watch Cults to Consciousness podcast and big on sovereignty. Oh, that's what's up. We should talk about sovereignty some more, Vibrant. I feel like you constantly need sex or money is in peace. I'm not religious. It's more of not letting other things take my peace away. That's right. That's right. Yeah, if you constantly in need of anything, it isn't peace. Peace is to be. Oh, Buddhism. How did I miss that one? Thank you, Juju. I was like, if you worship the Buddha, what's your religion? Buddhism. Duh. All right, thank you. That's why we need each other. I wonder if the little toilet bounced. Yo, FamTX, are you your little adages are right or really on point. So I appreciate you joining the chat. Hope to see you a lot more. Tartaria though. Yo, was it Angela? Can you explain to me what Tartaria is? Because I've seen that word like twice today in passing, and I have no idea what it's about. Is it from? I think I've heard of Tartaria from like cartoons, and it's always a prison that's in the ocean. But what do you? Can you tell me about Tartaria? Because I don't know nothing about it. I have the Buddha Brain book from library. Haven't checked out yet. Okay. All right. All right. Love that. I went to Bali and went to the temple. It was amazing. Oh, word, Juju. You ain't tell me you went to Bali. You ain't even tell me. How we known each other for 25 years? You ain't tell me you went to Bali. Damn. But yeah, I fuck with Buddhism too. Matter of fact, you know I fuck with Buddhism because I gave you Siddhartha way back in the day. Yeah, FamTX is on point tonight. FamTX is on that lithium. That limitless pill. Nah, we appreciate you though. That's what's up. I appreciate it, yo. I do this every even day from usually around 6:30, 7 o'clock. And I try to keep it around an hour, but if the conversation is rolling like it's rolling tonight, Then it goes a little bit longer. You had a rebirth in Bali, Juju. You want to tell us about it? Oh, I don't have my watch on. What time is it? 8:15. All right, let's do this for like 15 more minutes. Um, but yeah, I think we little toilet dipped on us. People be having stuff to do, so I'm not gonna say that they ran out. But I was definitely interested in having that conversation. What I do notice about religious people a lot though, especially like evangelical religious people, is they don't take criticism of their faith well. Like even that dude Wes Huff, yo. Remember I was talking about Wes Huff? I discovered Wes Huff because he kind of like had a one-on-one with Dr. Carlson, whatever his name is. But Forbidden Knowledge is his Instagram. That's his claim to fame, and he's like on Gaia and everything. I remember when he just started on Instagram and blew up, and then he was on Gaia and all of that. And for years and years and years, Dr. Carlson something, I can't remember what it is. He just pretty much had the game, he had the monopoly on esoteric knowledge, Palladian, Anunnaki, ancient Egypt, ancient Kemetic, anything that had to do with Sirius. Like he had that shit on lock. Like so much so that he had like his own show on Gaia TV. And like he does his run on like all these different podcasts or whatever. He's a pretty famous dude. And me, I respect him because he was getting the information out, but I also was a little weary of him because he was making it seem as if he was the forerunner, like the person who made these discoveries, when we all know for a fact where he got, well, not for a fact, but I have a great idea of where he got his information from. Some of them were my personal master teachers. So that kind of always rubbed me the wrong way. But then one day he meets this white guy named Wes Huff, and Wes Huff puts him in his fucking place. And I loved it. So I started following Wes Huff, and I just was watching Wes Huff talk about Christianity because he's such a Christian buff. Or like he's like really like he's got like degrees when it comes to Christianity and religion altogether. Very knowledgeable person. But I watch him form his arguments sometimes, and I can tell that he's very bothered when somebody would criticize Christianity at all. Like he gets tense and like aggravated and annoyed and like starts condescending people. And whenever you find a teacher who is that way, they have a long way to go. Let's just say that. Like I don't even my own master teachers, I've seen it in what's homie's name? Rest in peace to I can't remember his name right now. Chubby guy, but he died recently. But he was, let's say Dick Gregory even. Like I have massive respect for Dick Gregory, but if you said anything Dick Gregory didn't like, that man would try to put his foot in your ass. Especially the later years of his life, which I just kind of chalked up to him being old. But I don't like when teachers, they feel like they're so smart and they feel like they know so much that if you were to say something that to them was kind of like blasphemous, they would talk down to you. And I don't think that's the way to approach conversations. Maybe it's just because that's my maturity. Like that's why I have a space and all of this spreading of knowledge is because I won't condescend to people. Like you could say the most wild shit as long as it doesn't have anything to do with hurting little kids. Like that's when I'll put a foot in your ass, when you try to fuck with kids and babies and shit like that. But if you're an adult and you just say something out of ignorance, I'm not gonna condescend to you just because of that. Like if anything, this is an opportunity for us to create a bond and for me to lift you up, or for you to prove that I'm wrong, to show me where I'm wrong, and maybe I'll, like I said, it's an opportunity to bond. Billy Carson, that's his fucking name. Thank you. Exactly, Vibrant Liz. Anything that doesn't allow freedom of thought, which means inherently that the thought can be wrong, you have to allow people to be wrong. And then just because they're wrong, that doesn't mean you hit them with a fucking jab and a hook and an uppercut. It means like, yo, you might be mistaken on this. Have you ever considered this other thing? Have you ever read or seen or been or experienced or like question people? How did you arrive to that conclusion? Not just actually blah, 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 blah. Like I hate that shit. I can't stand that shit. Facts. Yo, do I know Isla Venal? I feel like you're trying to get me to say something funny. You trying to get me to you trying to get me to say I love anal or some shit? I don't know. Nah, but if I don't know who this person is, if you're really being serious, Lucas Mantu, I don't know who that person is. Wow, Tracy, vulgar, but okay, I'll allow it. Yes, I receive a lot of that when I left Christian faith. Now they're inquiring more and more about my beliefs. See, you see, give love how to the turntables. To quote The Office, Michael Scott. You see how the tables turn when you like, oh, y'all love this over here, Christianity. Okay, go ahead, have at it. I'm gonna go over here and do my own thing. And when y'all see the spiritual grow up, when y'all see how connected, when y'all see the proximity of me in the Godhead, I'm sure you're going to have questions. Some of the most evil people I've ever met go to church every Sunday. Come on, Lucas. I'm trying to host a live. You trying to get a sound bite. Ah, Liz, see, that's why the love is real. Because when you know, you just know. When you're real, you recognize the real. And I think the dual side to that is when things are just, what's the word? Totalitarian. When you don't have the ability to tolerate, you automatically qualify yourself as being wrong. When you don't know how to tolerate. The only thing I don't tolerate is like harm to children or to anybody. Like just don't harm people physically or coerce people to self-harm, because that's also just as bad. So as long as we can stay away from that, I mean, everything is pretty much fair game. But you can kind of see where people just don't have room to be questioned, and I don't like that. And when you don't allow yourself to be questioned, you become a dogma. You know, kind of like what happened with the pandemic, dare I say. Like when they were coming out with all this stuff, like, oh, you gotta stay 6 feet away from people, you gotta wear a mask, da 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 da. Like, I'm like, what? Granted, the very first day that shit came out, I went out with goggles, I had a mask on, I had some gloves on. I went to the supermarket with all like straight PPE on. And I was like, this shit ain't gonna get me. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, this shit dumb as hell. Because if I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse. Don't take my words for being like health advice. But from what I think I know about a virus, if a virus can really infect people in the way that they say it can, which no virus has ever been proven to actually be transmittable. or no virus has been isolated to the point where you can look at it in a microscope and say that's a virus. I mean, from what I've read at least, but it would reason to me that just a touch on a surface could transmit the virus. So they weren't telling people to not touch anything. They were just telling people to wear a mask, which was like, that's it. What about my eyes? Like, what if the shit gets in my eyes? Won't it affect me through my fucking eyes? My eyes are pretty much an open wound. Both of your eyes are pretty much open wounds. So when they weren't telling people to like wear goggles, I was already suspicious from that. But I digress. Yes, children and the elderly are sanctified. I I caught myself saying that in my head, like, yo, if you harm children or elderly people, you're the worst of the worst. I have no room for you in my life or space or thoughts, heart, mind, any of that. But then I was like, yo, if I'm gonna open it up to women and children, it's just gotta be everybody. Men, women, everybody is sacred. I don't think anybody deserves to be coerced, extorted, physically harmed, you know what I mean, in any type of a way. Initially, where I do condone violence, almost the most aggressive violence you can think of is if it's in defense or, you know, it's a response to aggressive violence. Like I don't believe in the turn the other cheek shit. I don't. It wasn't good enough for Naruto, so it's not good enough for me. I didn't see that in the news, Juju, but I'm happy that it did happen. I'm happy that Florida just passed a law that it opens up the death penalty for people who harm children. So I'm all for that. Like I I I have been in my past a fervent disbeliever, if you will, a fervent objector to the death penalty. I feel like it's wrong to put someone to death just, for as a punishment. But I have daughters now, and I guarantee you, anybody, like you could probably, if you cursed at my daughter, if you spit in my daughter's direction, I will fuck you up. I wouldn't even think like the spit would be mid-ear. It wouldn't even touch the ground. My fucking fist would be under your chin, like doop. You would be knocked the fuck out. So since I'm a parent now, I've kind of reconciled that idea that I have against the death penalty. And I feel like if we're gonna put people to death for anything, it has to be for adults who harm children. There's no room for that. I have no toleration for that. I was set up and almost trafficked by friends. It's so prevalent. Damn, Liz, that's crazy. I'm happy that that did not happen to you. I hope it doesn't happen to anybody. Like that shit is the most to be trafficked. Oh my god, I can't even watch movies that have trafficking in them. It like like I start shaking. I get so upset. I get so upset about the human trafficking shit because you're so fucking helpless, yo. You're so helpless. I remember when fucking the Saw movies came out. I love those movies, but it was fucking terrifying how these people just like they were fine and then they just go to sleep and then they wake up and they're like chained to a fucking wall. That shit, yo, I can't deal with that shit. 65 in Jacksonville. Oh, okay. 65 in Jacksonville, Orlando. I was just thinking of all our daughters, sons, and our kids. Yo, that's crazy. But I'm not surprised at all. Jacksonville, there's so much room for that, yo. I'll be watching these kids walk home. Not like watching them, you know what I mean? But I see them walking home. Or I see them waiting for the bus in the morning when I'm on my way to work. And I'm like, yo, where are the parents at? Where are the parents? I will be taking my daughters to school until they can drive themselves. Like, I can't, yo. I don't want no room. I cannot. Like, you know how your brain just does stupid shit, like create these weird ass stories that you don't want to think about, but it fucking creates a story anyway. Like, I be creating a story in my head sometimes. Like, yo, what if somebody actually kidnapped my daughter, fam? Like, I don't even like. I would definitely go to the police, but I would be there for like 5 or 10 minutes just to be like, yo, somebody kidnapped my daughter. This is what she looks like. This is her name. This is my phone number. Please help me out with that. I'm gonna go get to it. Like, I'm not even waiting for police, and I'm probably gonna let them know. Like, if I catch the motherfucker, I'll call you and let you know I caught him. But they're not gonna make it to the precinct. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be lights out. So on site. As soon as I see them, it's over for them. There's no pleading. There's no nothing. Nope. It was set up in a school basement. I kind of wish I didn't know that now. I'm mad you told me that shit because my daughter goes to public school. And I already be thinking, I'm like, yo, all right, her teacher might be okay and safe, but what about the substitute teachers? What about the janitors? What about the, you know what I mean? Like the cops. Because they have like a, but the good thing, the chill thing about my daughter's school is they have one cop who like oversees the whole school and he's there every day. He's been there for like 15 years. Everybody knows him. He's vetted. But golly, man. Taking part four from facts. Yeah, exactly. I have a very specific set of skills. It's over. Araceli. Araceli Algeria, thank you for joining the conversation. It's the first time I've seen you. Appreciate you for clicking onto the video and also answering the question. You save money. My question to you, Araceli, is why? That's a fact, Miss Liz. I tell my daughters all the time, like, you don't have to say anything to anybody if you don't want to. You don't owe them a smile, nothing. You know what I mean? But there have been times where like I'm out with them and you know, like an old lady be like, "Hi, you're so pretty." And or just be like, and then she'll look at me and I'm like, and I'll say it for her. I'll be like, "Thank you." You know what I mean? Like, and then I hear myself in my head like, "Damn, like my daughter's kind of rude because she didn't say thank you." But at the same time, she don't owe nobody shit. She's 5. You know what I mean? I'll let her have it. Give Live Love said, I still have my daughter's location. She's 26. Nah, facts. My daughters will, their location, once they get old enough to have cell phones, location will be on. I'll have it on my watch. I'll have one of those fucking digital rings. I'll have the meta glasses with just a map. Beep. Beep. Yo, facts. Tartaria is a theory that suggests an advanced civilization existed that built structures all around the world of a similar architecture, often Greco-Roman. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for hitting me with that, Ingela. But yeah, I know something about that. I also believe that this is humanity's like sixth go. Um, the hominid has been around for 3 million years, if I'm not mistaken. That's a long fucking time. 3 million years is a long fucking time. So who's to say that, you know, like the pyramids, shit that's underwater that we can't fucking see, I get you. I get what you're saying with the Greco-Roman stuff, because like, could they even say that some cathedrals are like sound healing devices? Like the way that they're built to harmonize sound in a way that physically heals the human body, and that's what their original purpose was before they were co-opted for religious purposes. But I love that. Thank you for bringing that up. The idea of Tartaria. I never knew that that was the name of it. You got Life 360 with your son? That's what's up. just gonna get that person out of here for not being fun. All right, y'all. I said that I was gonna do this for another 15 minutes, but we did it for an extra 5. So I'm not gonna hold y'all no much longer. Thank you everybody who joined me tonight. It's been love. It's been a dope conversation. Before I started this, I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna talk about tonight, and that's why I kind of just was like, let's play a game. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. I'm gonna get this prayer going, and I'm gonna let you go. Enjoy your night. We will do this again in a couple of days. Where's my prayer at? Oh, here we go. Yes. So all of the things that we said tonight, we always say be safe, but I'm also gonna add on the stay dangerous, yo. You have to stay dangerous in this world, because if you're not dangerous, you are harmless, and that's not what we want. We want you to stay dangerous, and then because you are dangerous, be safe. All right. To the one of us that is many, we come to you in total awareness. Please grant my friends peace, progress, prosperity, patience, persuasion, pleasure, and panacea in this ever persistent present moment of now. Ashe, Aho, Amen, en Laek, en Laken. Peace and love.